Have you ever thought about what the true flavor of the pumpkin spice latte is? Because, you know, the taste of pumpkin and the taste of pumpkin spice are very, very different. I don't know, I really like pumpkin pie. It's like one of my favorite desserts just in general. So whenever the season comes around, like we are now in fall, I just happen to really enjoy pumpkin. And pumpkin spice, like, it is very good. I love it a lot, but it's not pumpkin. It's like the essence of pumpkin, the essence of fall. I don't really know how to explain it. Hello everybody, this is That Manga Dude, and welcome to another good old-fashioned pickups video. Today, I'm going to be talking about everything that I picked up in the month of September, which ended up being a surprising amount of stuff, and a lot of different publishers, like a lot of different publishers. I was sorting them out before doing this video, and it was like kind of crazy just how many different publishers there were. So very excited to get into it. There's going to be a lot of great manga that we're going to be going through, so I hope you are excited as well, and I hope you're enjoying and having a great fall. So yeah, let's get started right now. Okay, so if you've never been to a That Manga Dude pickups video, the way this always works is that I usually have it in 3 parts. First part goes to the smaller publishers, the publishers that are no longer around, or the publishers I did not pick up that much from. And yeah, there's quite a few in this area, so I will be going through it, and let's get started. So, first up, we have ourselves School Rumble, Volume 7 from Jin Kobayashi. This is from Del Rey. Yeah, this has been a really fun comedy series, and honestly, I've been really lucky to be able to collect as many volumes as I have, and in fairly good condition as well. So, but basically, yeah, this is a comedy series that takes place at school, where this girl is totally in love with this guy, has just like struggling to be able to confess her feelings, while this guy who is like totally in love with that girl is like a delinquent, and it's just really silly. It's very stupid, but it's very enjoyable. So I'm really excited to have the next volume, and I can't wait to continue reading this series. Alright, coming in from Dark Horse, I have myself Oh My Goddess from Volume 1 from Kosuke Fujishima. And to be fair, I really don't know much about this. I know the series is extremely long. From what I could tell, there's a lot of omnibuses and stuff like that. And yes, I am collecting these smaller Dark Horse volumes. Will that be a mistake? Well, I guess we'll aim to find out in a bit. But yeah, happy to have this. I've heard a lot of great stuff about it, so definitely going to be checking out soon. Alright, up next, from Avalanche Press, this is Monkey Peak, Volume 1 from Koji Shinasaka and Akihiro Kumeta. Yeah, so I picked this one up because I had seen people post about it. I think it was at San Diego Comic Con, and I believe Avalanche Press is like a comic book publisher, so this is like one of their first forays into manga from what I could tell, and yeah, definitely wasn't expecting that price point. Yeah, I spent $25 on this. I spent a little bit less. I had it on, it was discounted because it was a special sale that was going on, but still, $25 for this small volume is very surprising considering that it's not in color, so I really hope this is really good, and I guess we'll just have to see when I decide to read it. Alright, up next, decided to pick up from Tokyo Pop. This is If My Favorite Pop Idol Made It to the Budokan, I Would Die from Aori Hiaro. Really silly rom-com series, kind of Yuri romance about this idol group and this girl named Eripio, or this lady named Eripio, who is in love with one of the girls. Her name is Mina, and yeah, it's about their blossoming friendship, I guess, and it's interesting. I don't know, it's kind of cool to look into the underground idol culture and stuff like that, and just to see how many different idol groups there are in Japan and how they like function and work. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm really enjoying it, so happy to have the next volume. Alright, up next, managed to get this on discount, which was very surprising. That is Usatoki Rhetoric Volume 7 from Ritsu Miyako. This is from One Piece Books, and this is a really, really fun shoujo mystery comedy drama series following this girl who has the ability to be able to interpret people's lies because she can hear them in like a different like frequency or sound. She ends up teaming up with a detective, and it's about them and their like blossoming friendship as they solve crimes around their city and around Japan. So it's really good. I've loved it a lot. I've actually just been having a hard time finding the volume, so happy to have found Volume 7 and for discount and in great condition. So yeah, can't wait to get into this one. Alright, up next from Ablaze Manga, this is Blitz, Volume 3 from Tsukasa Mori, Cedric Biscay, Daitaro Nishihara, and Gary Kasparov, or at least featuring him. This is Volume 3, and I've been having a hard time finding this volume, just in general. This is a very strange, like, chess manga, but basically follows a story about this kid here, who ends up, like, finding this, like, video game program, that, like, he gets zapped, basically, and then he has the ability to see the ghost of Gary Kasparov, which is, like, if you don't know, a very, very popular, famous chess master, probably one of the best of our generation / this generation currently. So, yeah, very random, but I was enjoying it for the most part. I think the translation is kind of funky here and there, but overall, I've been very much enjoying this, so happy to have the 3rd volume. Alright, up next, I got really happy to see this. This is Baby Bear's Bakery, Volume 3, or Part 3 from Kamen Totsu. I love this one. This one is so adorable. Follows a story about this bear here, the baby bear who owns a bakery, and it's about the daily life of him and his waiter / person who helps him. It's super adorable. The art is cute as heck, and I just love it a lot. So happy to have this, and I'm extremely excited to read this one. Alright, coming in from the New York Review, I think is what the title is. Let me just make sure, just in case. Yeah, so the New York Review Comics. Yeah, I didn't even know this was a thing. This is Ninja Sarutobi Sasuke from Sugiura Shigeru, as well as, I think, translation from Ryan Holmberg, I believe is, oh yeah, translation and essay by Ryan Holmberg, and hand lettering by Vicky Chu. What is this? I have no idea. I didn't even know the New York Review even releases comics, so this was very surprising to see, and in very nice quality as well. Like, just a really nice print in general. The pages feel really nice, and yeah, I don't know anything about this. I didn't even know it was releasing, so cool to have it. Definitely going to be interested in checking it out, because it looks like it's like an older style manga, and yeah, I like old manga. I think it's really fun to read. Alright, up next, these are Japanese volumes I actually picked up from Morning KC, also known as Morning Kodansha. This is Daddy Steady Go from the creator of Lost Side London, Shima Shinya. Yeah, I love Shima Shinya's work, and I was at Kinokuniya recently, and I saw that they had this, so I was like, gotta go pick it up, because I just love their artwork. I think their artwork is really, really great, even though I can't read this. Being able to see the visuals is really, really nice, and so just hoping that Yen Press, or whoever, I guess Kodansha in this case, picks this up and brings it to print, because I'd love to read it. And another one from the Shima Shinya library. This is from Beam Comics. This is Void number 9, Volume 1. I'm really excited to have this one. This is their newest series that's currently serializing. Yeah, it looks like it's a sci-fi series from what I could tell. It has beautiful colored pages at the beginning. I'm really hoping this one gets picked up by Yen Press. I actually wouldn't be surprised, considering we've already gotten 2 of their series from Yen Press, so this will probably be the next one when we get a little bit more volumes in Japan. But super happy to have this, and maybe it's a hint about what is coming up in the pipeline for videos. Alright, up next, this is from Anime Works. I have 2 volumes from them, and I have first is Volume 1 of Pilgrim Jaeger, I believe, or Jaeger, I don't know, from To Ubukata and Mami Ito. Don't know much about this, but this was, I went to a local bookstore, and they were having a fire sale during Labor Day, and the volumes were for $1. So I was like, well, might as well give it a shot and see what it's all about. So yeah, definitely will probably be checking this out sometime soon. And also from that same store, I managed to pick up the first volume of Kamunagara, Rebirth of the Demon Slayer from Hajime Yamamura. Once again, another one I don't know anything about, but the art looks really cool, so definitely excited to check this one out as well. Okay, now we're coming into our big publishers, aka not Viz. Let us start with Kodansha. So first up, I picked up the 4th volume of Welcome to the Ballroom from Tomo Takeuchi. I recently started this series and absolutely adored the first couple of volumes, so really happy to have this in really good condition too, because Volume 4 has been surprisingly difficult to find, not having like a really strange spine. The print for some reason is always like super to the side or super to one side, and this one looks a lot better than some of the other ones I've been seeing, so yeah, definitely happy to continue reading this series. Wonderful ballroom dancing manga, and definitely give it a shot. It's great. Up next, I saw this one get a lot of hype online. I almost said hop. A lot of hype online, and that is Tank Chair from Manabu Yashiro. This is Volume 1. This one just recently came out. I heard this has been is really fantastic. It's super action-packed and has some really great art. So super happy and super excited to check this one out. I cannot wait to read it. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the third volume of Gachakuta from Kei Urana and Hideyoshi Ando. This has been a really fun action series, and yeah, I'm really excited that the releases have been coming out pretty fast because they're usually pretty quick reads for each volume. The art is super, super good, and I would say reminiscent of like their who they take inspiration from, but you kind of love it because it's like they took like the best parts of each of those like mangaka and kind of put it together. But this is a really fun like post-apocalyptic kind of action series. If you like Soul Eater, if you're like stuff like Siren and stuff like that, this is a really cool one. I would highly suggest checking this out. Alright, up next, so this is from Seven Seas. I have a few volumes from them. I picked up the first volume of Nirvana. This is another one of those ones that I got on sale at that comic book store, and I don't know anything about this. I've seen this volume, or I've seen this series around at various book-offs and some used bookstores, and I don't really know what it is. I couldn't find much about it online, but the art looks pretty nice, so yeah, hopefully it's decent, and I'll enjoy it. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the 5th volume of My Girlfriend's Child from Mamoru Aoi. This has been one of the best shoujo human dramas that I've been reading recently. Just in general, human drama, it's really flippin' good. And it tackles so many interesting topics and themes, especially about teenage pregnancy and the stigma around it, and I think it does it in such a nuanced and beautiful way. I've said that about this series often and in every video, but that's because I just don't see enough people talking about it other than like on my Twitter, so hopefully more people decide to read it and check it out because the series is super amazing. But yeah, I'm really happy to have the 5th volume and I can't wait to read it. Okay, so coming up next is Beyond Metamorphosis Volume 3 from Kaori Surutani. Been really loving this series. I think it's really great. I really love the relationship between these two, the grandma and the young girl. Like, they're awesome. I just really like them a lot, and I think it's like cool to see like a relationship, platonic relationship slash friendship between like an older person and like a teenager slash like a young adult. So really happy to have this, and I can't wait to continue reading it. Alright, up next, picked up Otonari Complex from Saku no Nomura. Yeah, this is a new series that just released this month, and yeah, super happy to have this. I did talk about this in the FVI, so if you want to get my full opinions on that, go check that out, or if you want to get the TLDR, you're gonna have to wait until the reading log is out. But yeah, basically follows a story about this guy who cross-dresses as a woman and this really handsome lady, and so it's about their friendship and them kind of trying to discover themselves and struggling with their identity crises. Yeah, really enjoyed it. I thought it was great, and yeah, I will talk more about that in the reading log. Alright, up next, this is from Yen Press. I actually picked up a lot from Yen Press, but first up, I picked up the next 2 volumes of Delicious in Dungeon that I needed. This is volumes 5 and 6 from Ryoko Kui. Like I mentioned in previous videos, I totally understand the hype now. This series is so much fun. It's really awesome. The art is awesome. The characters are great. If in case you didn't know what Delicious in Dungeon is all about, which I'd be surprised if you didn't, but if you don't, Delicious in Dungeon follows the story of Laos and his crew of various people, also known as Chilchuk and why am I forgetting her name? Oh, that's so embarrassing. Senshi and her. Marcial, there we go. So they're part of like this adventuring group, and they're trying to find, at least at the beginning of the story, they're trying to find Laos' sister after she has been eaten by a dragon. So yeah, it's about them learning about the dungeon and learning about how to use the dungeon to its like maximum potential while cooking, because Senshi is like been living in the dungeon, is helping them understand like how you can prep all this stuff. So it's been really great. I love it a lot, and can't wait to keep reading because volume 4 left on a massive cliffhanger. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the 4th volume of The Summer Hikaru Died from Moku Mokuren. Man, I really enjoy this series. It's a fantastic psychological slash body horror series. It's really creepy. Really loved the last volume, so I've been kind of like waiting extremely patiently for this 4th volume, so happy to have it, and I cannot wait to read it. Alright, up next, this is the 4th volume of Glitch from Shima Shinya, which I didn't even realize was the last volume and made me really sad. But here we are. We are at the end of this one. So this series is super fantastic. I love it a lot. Follows a story about these two here. They are siblings, and they are moving into this new town, and not everything is as it seems, so it's about them learning about this new like town they live in that seems a little off kilter in more ways than one. So it's really, really good. I think the writing is fantastic. Shima Shinya is killing it in this one. And yeah, interested to see where this series is going to end, because I feel like there's a lot to go over per se. But it definitely was hitting a boiling point in Volume 3. So I think there will be a nice resolution within the 4th volume. Alright, coming up next, I picked up the 4th volume of Tokyo Babylon from Clamp, and yeah, been really enjoying this one. I think it's been a really fun supernatural series. Happy to have this 4th volume. It's kind of just like, I love the super bright pink that they chose for the cover and spine. Yeah, can't wait to keep reading this one. Alright, up next, I got this for sale as well. Aka 13 Volume 3 from Natsume Ono. So, been really patiently waiting on this one, even though I really shouldn't have. I should just read it already, but Natsume Ono, because you don't know, is one of my favorite manga artists. I love their work a lot. I think they tackle a lot of fantastic themes throughout all their stories, whether it's like aging or whether it's like some trigger words, which I'll throw up here, and just various other things. So definitely interested to read this one. I believe this is like more of like a political action thriller, I think. So definitely interested to check this one out. And last but not least from Yen Press, I got picked up Kowloon Generic Romance Volume 8. I've talked about this series at length in so many different reading logs, and also one of the first FEIs. So if you want to go check out my opinions on the first volume, you can go do that. But loved Kowloon Generic. I've been loving Kowloon Generic Romance, so super happy to have this next volume, and I cannot wait to unwrap it. It is currently wrapped, so we'll definitely be reading it soon. And we are officially in the final stretch. We are in the Viz Media section. So let's get started. We have ourselves from Shonen Jump, Volume 61 of Naruto from Masashi Kishimoto. I'm really close now. I'm getting very close to finishing my Naruto collection, mostly because I've been stubborn and I've been wanting to get the old school Viz Media logo instead of the new logo. So yeah. Love Naruto. It's one of my favorite series of all time. Mostly, I would say a lot because of nostalgia, but also because I genuinely think it's a very good series up until a certain point. So, yeah, I can't wait to continue and actually reread this series because I think it is due for a reread. Up next, I decided to pick up Naruto Sasuke's Story, The Uchiha and the Heavenly Stardust, the manga, Volume 2 from Masashi Kishimoto, Jun Esaka, and Shingo Kimura. Really fun little spin-off series following the story of Sasuke as he goes on the mission to like, this random place and is trying to find a cure for Naruto's sickness. And yeah, it's pretty weird, it's pretty fun, but I love that it like delves into like the more of the relationship between Sasuke and Sakura, because we definitely didn't get enough of that in the original Naruto series, of course. So cool to have this. And yeah, I've been really enjoying it, so happy to get the last volume. Alright, up next, picked up the 9th volume of Dark Gathering from Kenichi Kondo. Love it. It's been one of my best, or one of my favorite shonen horror series that's currently releasing. If you like horror series, definitely give this one a shot. It is fantastic, and yeah, so happy to have this one as well. Alright, up next, I decided to pick up the 11th volume of Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. This is from Kanehito Yamada and Tsukasa Abe. Yeah, glad to finally have another volume of Frieren. We got left on a massive cliffhanger, as per usual, it seems. And yeah, really excited to get into this one because it feels like we're getting to the climax of this fight between the Gold Man. Alright, up next, from the Shojo line of Viz Media, you'll understand why I said that, and I picked up the next 3 volumes of Hanakimi that I needed. This is volumes 6 through 8 from Hisaya Nakajo. Yeah, this has been a really fun little Shojo series, one of the classics, as some my people might say, and yeah, really loved the first couple of volumes that I did read, and can't wait to continue reading this very silly It inspired Oran. There we go. Because, well, if you know about the series, basically it's about this girl who gets into this high school because she is like cross-dressing / hiding as a boy in order to get closer to this high jumper that she's totally in love with. So it's a very bizarre premise, but love this. I think it's really fun, so can't wait to continue reading it. Alright, up next, I decided to pick up the next volume of QQ Sweeper that I needed. This is volume 3 from Kiyosuke Motomi, the last volume of a QQ Sweeper. So, super happy to finally have this, like, actually start reading Queen's Quality, because I've always heard great things about it. But it's been impossible to find QQ Sweeper volumes, so I'm happy that Viz Media has decided to reprint it, / people have decided to sell it so I can buy it. Yeah, cannot wait to finish this one off. Alright, up next, decided to pick up Star Wars, The High Republic, The Edge of Balance from Shima Shinya, Justina Ireland, and Mizuki Sakakibara. This is a Star Wars spin-off series, and it looks really good, so happy to check this one out, and hopefully it's really good. Alright, up next, so I'm going to show these together even though they are separate. This is from the Rumik Theater from Rumiko Takahashi. This is Rumik Theater and One or Double. So, I don't know much about these. I was trying to read them online. It seems like Viz, back in the day, decided to be very confusing and kind of put these out even though they were like separate things within the Rumik Theater. So I'm happy to have them in English because I know these haven't been reprinted, so it's got a lot of cool stories in them that you won't be able to find anywhere else. So they're in mostly good condition. I mean, for the most part, there's like a little bend here and there, but the pages are still intact. Like, it still looks really good. So happy to have these. I'm a big Rumiko Takahashi fan, in case you didn't know. And yeah, happy to have these, and we'll be excited to read them soon. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the third volume of Magi Lumiere, Magical Girls Incorporated, Volume 3 from Seka Iwata and Yu Aoki. Really fun little Magical Girl slash, Magical Girl series that's focused more on, like, technology, which is super cool. Really love this one, and I'm excited to have the next volume. Alright, up next, Fool Knight, Volume 2 from Kasumi Yasuda. This is one of my favorite series currently releasing. Really interesting, like, kind of post-apocalyptic story. Follows a story about this boy who lives in this world where there's no light, no sun. So they've created this like technology slash procedure called transfloration, which allows you to become basically a plant, which allows you to create oxygen for the people who are still alive. So usually it's provided for people who are on the brink of death, but our main character has something happen and asks to take the procedure. So you only have 2 years to live after you receive the procedure until you become a plant. So it's about him like kind of living his life with his newfound money and kind of this like newfound lease on life. It's a really interesting premise. It has some really great moments. The art is fantastic, and I've already read this in case you couldn't know, because you could tell, but I won't talk about it too much. So definitely go check out the reading log when it comes out. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the 11th volume of Zom 100, Bucket of the Dead from Haro Aso and Kotaro Takata. I've been slowly but surely collecting the series because I feel like it doesn't really, there's not a lot to remember with it. It's mostly like they're just on a little adventure and they're being fun and silly. So yeah, definitely excited to continue reading it at some point soon. Alright, up next, decided to pick up I'll Give It My All tomorrow from Volume 3 from Shunju Aono, which is this really interesting, like, kind of introspective slash kind of existential manga series. Following the story about this man here who's like in his 40s, I believe, at least that they were saying. He has a daughter, and he doesn't really know what he wants to do with his life, so he's kind of like just been procrastinating and stuff like that until one day he decides he wants to become a mangaka. It's yeah, it's pretty interesting to read, I will say. So I've only read the first volume, and yeah, definitely interested to pick up the third one and continue reading it soon. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the final volume of Tokyo These Days. This is Volume 3 from Taiyo Matsumoto. Super excited to have this. This has been one of my favorite series once again that's releasing right now, and yeah, it's super duper good. I've talked about it at length in a variety of reading logs as well as an FVI, so definitely go check this out if you want my full opinions on this. But really great. Another kind of existential manga about this like editor, really popular editor at his like manga firm, decides to just randomly quit, and it's about like kind of the aftermath of all of that. So if you're like interested in anything like that, and or if you just really like Taiyo Matsumoto, I highly suggest giving this a read. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the first volume of Trillion Game from Riishiro Inagaki and Ryoichi Ikegami. I talked about this in the FVI, but to give you a quick synopsis, it follows the story about these two guys. So these two here, the guy in the money and the guy in the front, who team up in order to become trillionaires. So it's really silly, it's really fun, and kind of just like action-packed, surprisingly, even though it's like not really a premise. It's usually it's about high life and like kind of like scamming rich people, which is really great. So yeah, I loved the first volume. I really enjoyed the first volume. I won't say I loved it, but I really enjoyed the first volume. So I will talk more about that in the reading log. And last but not least, to talk about Insomniacs After School Volume 7, Makoto Ojiro, one of my favorite romantic dramas that is currently coming out. Fantastic slice of life slash kind coming-of-age story about these two here who have a hard time sleeping, and it's about them like becoming friends and eventually something more as they proceed to pursue like kind of like chase their dreams as a photographer and kind of like checking out astronomy because they unintentionally joined the astronomy club so they could sleep. So it's really great. I love it a lot. It's always just so light. It's so fun. And it's so beautifully written and has some just really great characters. So happy to have the next volume, and I cannot wait to talk about this in the reading log. And that's going to be it for this good old-fashioned pickups video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really appreciate it. You guys are always awesome. What did you pick up in September or in whatever month you are watching this? Let me know in the comments below. And you know what to do. You can like, you can comment, you can subscribe. I really appreciate it whenever you do those kinds of things. It really helps. I'm getting closer and closer to 4,000 subscribers, which is super crazy. And I'm so thankful to anybody and everyone who watches my videos, honestly. It means the most. And yeah, you can also join membership in order to get videos early. I will be putting out and planning a video soon talking about editing thumbnails and how I do it. How I do it. So very interested, and hopefully you guys are excited as I am to watch it when I decide to film it. So thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.